Talk to me about kind of your area in the home,
Yeah.
what you announced today.
Yeah, today we had some major announcements, particularly in the home, and how we're bringing the notion of great hardware and software and AI. So we launched two new products, hardware products. The first is Google Home Mini, which is these two products right here. It's about bringing Google Home, the Google Home experience we launched last year, into a smaller, more accessible form factor. Our goal is to try to make it easy to put every one of these in every room in your house, right? One of the things we're finding is once you have an experience with an assistive-based product, they want to put it everywhere, not just in one room like the kitchen or the living room. And so we think a really incredible, affordable product like Google Home Mini, which is going to be available for $49 in the US, makes it really simple and easy to do that. And we spent a lot of time on the design of the product to make it feel more natural in the home. So you'll see the size of it's really small. It's actually using fabric, which are materials that are very common in homes today. And we provide a lot of different colors because obviously you want to match different ambience in your house.
Yeah, talk to me a little bit about what's the response been. It's been a year since you put out the first home speaker, and what have you learned?
So we've learned a lot. I mean, one of the great things with Google is that once we have an actual opportunity to engage with our users, we can continue to iterate really fast. Today we announced that in just the last year, we can answer over 100 million new questions you ask the assistant. That's the scale and magnitude that Google can work. And so we learned a ton. We've added a whole bunch of new capabilities over the last year. A couple of key ones is, first, this capability called Voice Match. The idea of Voice Match is, if we want to give you a personal assistant, we need to understand who you are. And the challenge is on a device like this, which is shared with everyone in the family, how do you do that? Yeah. Well, with Voice Match, we can recognize your voice and give you personalized responses to questions like, what's on my calendar today? Well, I can give you my calendar response versus my wife's, for example. The second big thing we did over this year was a feature called hands-free calling. So you can actually use this as a great speaker and has a microphone in it, so you can actually call out to whoever you want. We announced today we're bringing that to the UK in addition to the US. So there's a lot of stuff we've learned in terms of being able to answer more questions, being able to actually give you a really personalized assistant, and then new things like hands-free calling.
Yeah, it's a really crowded market. Particularly Amazon has put out been very aggressive. Yep. What's setting you guys apart from Amazon? Are you trying to reach new consumers that they're not reaching?
Well, I think right now it's really early, right? So a lot of people don't have home assistants yet in their products, in their house. And so we think there's a huge opportunity still to really reinvent what the home experience can be. So from a combination of, we think we have an amazing assistant experience and we're continuing to improve it and make it better based on the features I talked before, also in how we actually work and interface with other things in the home. So today we talked a lot about the smart home and how Nest and Google are trying to bring together amazing experiences across Assistant, your Chromecast devices, your security cameras, your thermostats. So we're trying to bring a holistic view of how do we actually bring really cool new experiences to the home. And a couple of areas that we think are really interesting. One is young families, right? Young families is an environment where lots of activity happening. It's really helpful to have a personal assistant available to you at all times. And so we're really leaning into that. So today we announced a bunch of new features related to families and kids.
Yeah. And you have two, your kids?
Yes, I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. In fact, we had them in the video of them playing with the Google Home products. They love it. It's a totally new experience for them. In fact, I mean, kids love to boss things around. Well, they get to boss around the assistant because they get to have control. And it's a lot of fun that they can experience things that they can't normally do with just a tablet, right? They can share moments together. You can play new games. You can learn something new. You can do story time. There's a lot of new capabilities, we think. So we think it's really early. And so really our goal is bring an accessible price point for consumers, but then continue to evolve the assistant to make it more meaningful.
You're also moving to a new category of speakers, the Home Max device. That's something that Sonos is in, Apple, probably Amazon too. Why go in that category? It's really competitive, and what do you think you can offer?
Well, there's a couple of things. One is one of the most popular use cases for Google Home-based products is music. It's so simple and easy to use your voice to play back, your favorite songs or music stations. But the other thing is we think that we're actually at a crossing roads here, where the combination of hardware and software can reinvent sound, similar to what happened to the camera. So if you look at this history of sound for the last, let's say 30, 40 years, it's all about getting better capabilities into the hardware. But right now, actually, the next wave of innovation, we believe, is a combination of hardware and software.
Yep.
So with Google Home Max, which is our premium sound offering, we not only have an amazing speaker from a hardware capability standpoint, but we also are enabling something called Smart Sound, which is powered by Google's AI.
Yep.
The idea is that a speaker should tune itself and adjust itself to your home environment.
Is that, and Smart Sound just works right now with the Home Max?
It'll work. We're rolling out with Home Max, and we're going to actually roll it out to all the different Google Home devices over time.
Would it work with other partners, OEMs, at some point?
Yeah, so the capabilities right now, it's going to be part of the Google Home family, but it interfaces with all the other products. For example, if you have other Google Homes or Chromecast built-in speakers,
Gotcha.
It'll automatically synchronize those in a.
But just for now, it's just Google products.
Just for now, it's going to be Google products. As a
Do we look at something maybe moving to other speakers and products, or is it just in the Google family?
I think we're still trying to figure that out in the sense that right now it's a combination of great hardware and software, so we have to think through how we actually extend it to other hardware products. But we're really focusing on how do we do something really differentiated in terms of a different sound experience that you've ever heard before.